Good day everyone and welcome to another Society of South African Geographers conference. My name is Stian Creer and today I'll be discussing some of the problems that may arise from development projects such as the open pit coal mines in Mpumalanga. Why do we need so much coal? Well, first and foremost, we rely on coal for energy generation and this will be the case for the unforeseen future. We also greatly rely on coal and coal mines for economic development activities and growth. Without coal, we wouldn't be able to power manufacturing industries, plants, or conduct business. A lot of people are also dependent on coal mines and electricity generation from coal for their livelihoods. Open pit mines offer a lot of advantages over underground mining. For one, they are much more accessible and it allows the use of large machinery for a more cost-effective and a less labor-intensive extraction process. It is also considered less invasive with less underground support infrastructure required, making it economically more viable. Probably the biggest advantage that open pit mines offer over underground mines are safety. Being an open pit mine, there's a lot less chances of cave-ins and it provides better ventilation and visibility for the miners, making it an overall safer practice. So then, if we have all these advantages of open pit mines, what is the problem? Well, the biggest problem is probably deforestation. The entire area proposed for an open pit coal mine needs to be cleared completely of vegetation, destructing many habitats and destroying ecosystems. Furthermore, soil erosion due to deforestation jeopardizes agricultural processes and may cause safety hazards such as landslides and floods. It is usually rural communities that suffers worst from this type of causative issues. Another concern is the displacement of local communities to make way for the new mine and its accompanying infrastructure, which may bring about socio-economic challenges. However, it's often the extent of water pollution that accompanies coal mines that raises many questions and concerns. Coal mines requires a lot of water during the extraction process and generates toxic wastewater that pollutes water bodies far from the mine itself. This in turn affects water safety. But then again, what about the job opportunities that mines bring about, skill development, or new infrastructure such as roads and electricity networks funded by mining activities, or even the development of rural areas in Mpumalanga, for example the establishment of new schools, hospitals, or shopping centers? Surely we should also consider these factors. So this brings us to the big trade-off. We could say reduce reliance on fossil fuel for electricity generation or find alternative energy sources, but this may not be necessarily possible or may not be feasible for the unforeseen future. Also, we have to remember that many livelihoods in South Africa, especially in the rural communities, such as is the case in Mpumalanga, depends on mining activities and fossil fuel exploration. So what can we do? Well, we can implement environmental policies that may guide mining activity, establishing a more controlled and more sustainable mining industry while maintaining a much needed development of our rural communities. Environmental policy refers to a set of principles, regulations, laws, and guidelines established by governments, organizations, or institutes to address environmental challenges and to promote sustainable practices. Environmental policies aim to protect the natural environment, prevent or mitigate environmental degradation, and promote the sustainable use of natural resources. These policies are often backed by legislation or regulatory frameworks that outline the rights, responsibilities, and obligations of various stakeholders, including individuals, businesses, and government entities. These laws define standards, permit requirements, and enforcement mechanisms to ensure compliance and accountability. Environmental policies set standards and regulations to control pollution and promote responsible resource management. This includes measures to reduce emissions of pollutants into the air and water, encourage waste reduction and recycling, and promote sustainable use of natural resources. Effective environmental policies engage and educate the public, raising awareness about environmental issues and promoting sustainable behaviors. This may involve public participation in decision-making processes, environmental education programs, and awareness campaigns to encourage individuals and the community to take action. These policies often involved international cooperation and agreements to address transboundary environmental challenges. I believe the focus should be on environmental impact assessments, where we evaluate environmental consequences and identify measures to minimize or mitigate adverse effects. But we should also consider enforcing sustainable mining practices. This includes measures such as land reclamation, reforestation, water management plans, and responsible waste management practices. I believe one of the most important environmental policies should be long-term planning for rehabilitation. We should encourage mining companies to develop comprehensive mine closure plans. This includes restoring ecosystems, rehabilitating land and water resources, and supporting sustainable post-mining land uses. We should also support local communities that are affected by new mines or the closure of such mines. I also think it's important to get the communities engaged. We should involve the local communities and stakeholders in decision-making processes and ensure that the affected communities have a voice in determining the social and economic benefits of such mining projects. Despite open pit mines offering much advantage over underground mines both economically and in terms of safety, it still has an adverse negative effect on the environment, even long after closure of the coal mine. However, despite these effects, the local communities of Mpumalanga are depending on these mines for development and an economic injection, and we are faced with a development versus environmental impact dilemma. We cannot ban mines, neither can we ignore environmental impact. In these cases, environmental policy should come into play and should be considered paramount in balancing projects such as the establishment of coal mines in Mpumalanga. Thank you for your time, attention, and for listening to me today.